Hi guys, it's Alia. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to part 2 of, well, the journal making. Sorry, I had to take a quick sip of water. And in our last, well, in the first part, we started the cover. Well, we talked about the project, started the cover, and then I realized the video was getting pretty long and I didn't want my camera to cut off, so I stopped after we glued down the thing for the nameplate, and I made the little marks where I want it to go, and now we are going to sew it on. So I have my needle ready, and let's see how well this goes. All right, you know what I'm going to do? Actually, I want to put some Fabri-Tac on it just to sort of kind of help keep it in place a little bit. Maybe just a little bit around here, maybe a little around here. And maybe here, I don't know if this will grab it, but we'll put a little there just for an extra measure. Okay, now, oops, nope. Now let's try to line it up with the little marks. And there's one mark and 2 marks. Good. Okay. Now maybe if I just hold it for a second, the glue can kind of catch a little bit. Okay. Now this is always the tricky part for me, trying to get the first, oh, you know what I could do actually? Sorry, I'm off camera. I'm going to poke down here, and I'm going to poke down here so I know where I'm going to come up. Actually, that's a good idea. So now I know I'm going up here. That works. All right. And I'm just going to go back down, because really I'm just sewing it on. So there's nothing super like technical what I'm doing. I'm just sewing it in. And I think one more time. One more, and I'm sorry, I'm not even in frame. Sorry about that. But I'll show you what I did after. And it's basically like just sewing a button. I'm just going in one and then out the other. So let me just tighten it just to make sure it's nice and tight, and it is. And I really, this is all I do. I just tie it. I was going to get brads, like the mini brads, to put through. And then I realized after the first time that I did the tie, or not the tie, but like I sewed it on like this, I actually really liked the way it looked. So I ended up not ordering the brads yet. I mean, maybe eventually one day I will, but for now, I like this. And I'll show you the after once we finished. So now I'm just going to, oops, go through. Because this is embroidery floss, it's a little thicker, so sometimes I have trouble getting it through. There we go. All right, so again, through the hole, and then down. Oh, gosh. And I don't know how much of this you're seeing, because sometimes when I concentrate, I always forget to look and see if I'm actually in camera. And I do apologize for that. Sometimes I just get kind of caught up in the moment and I'm just going, and forgetting that the video camera is actually on. Okay, so that's nice and tight. And then when I finish doing this one, I will show you what it looks like. I don't know how many I did. Maybe one more. Don't remember. Because I don't want it too bulky either, because we still have to put the cover, the inside cover on it. All right, so there it is. So let me just look at it real quick. Good. Push it down. So there it is. You see? You can see the little sewing on each side, and it's brown, so it's, you know, it kind of goes with everything. Good. So now we're going to do the inside cover, and let me just put this away real quick. And we already had picked out the paper we're going to use for the inside cover, so that does help out a little bit too. Let's put this back. And I think I did decide I want to use the writing. And do I want the Hello Sweetheart, or yeah, I think I'm just gonna really do a little cutoff quickly. Okay. And of course I can save this little cutoff piece for something, so don't throw that away. All right, now I'm just gonna measure it. And this is, I mean, everybody has their own way. I do it kind of like this because I've tried it other ways and it doesn't always work. And not saying that this way is going to work either, but I basically just trace it like this and then like this. And then I just cut right on the inside of the lines. So I'll take this. And of course, sometimes I need to cut it a little bit more down, like cut it a little bit more, but I try to not cut off a lot because I'd rather have it need to be cut off a little bit more than cut it too much and then say, oh man, that was too much, because then you'd have to get another piece of paper. All right, so, and I think this needs to be cut a little bit more, which is completely fine. So a little bit more from the top and the bottom, and just a tad also from the side. So I'm going to do a tad on this side. And then a tad from this side, and it might need a little more because this I just do little by little by little. Nope, that's perfect that way, and then that is perfect that way. Good. And of course, you know what I'm about to say. Let's ink some edges. Oh, you know what I was just thinking? Hold on, because I completely forgot about the middle. You know what? I completely messed this up. I was doing it an old way, but I've started recently doing it a new way, and I kind of want to do it that way. So that means I'm going to have to stop for a minute. Well, I'm going to finish inking, but we're going to cut this into two pieces. And we're also going to put a strip of fabric down the middle. Okay, because before I used to do it like this, but I realized when you fold it, you know, when you fold like this, it not buckles, but like wrinkles here because it's one piece. If you cut it in two sections and you have a strip of the blue or the material down the middle, and then you have one on each side, there's no room for it to buckle. Or I don't know if I'm using the right word, but there's no room to, are these both the same size? They are. Okay. Well, this was perfect. And I usually try to do a coordinate, like the little fabric strip, a coordinating one with the cover. Every once in a while, I think I've had to use something different because I didn't have something that completely matched. All right, so basically, you're just trying to line it up, and we'll glue it down like so. And of course, for here, we definitely want to use the little smushing thing because we know that it does bleed. The glue does bleed through, so we want to make sure that we're squishing it down as much as we can and spreading it out so there's no glue chunks or anything, because it will just show right through. I can even push this down a little bit more. Okay. Okay, good. And of course, you know, we're gonna cut this here. I like to have it a little bit longer because sometimes it's a little easier to work with. So that's why I do it like that. Okay, that should be good, but let's just make sure. Actually, maybe a little too good. I don't know, might be a little bit much, but we'll see. And I'm pushing it up just a little to spread the glue. Okay. And now, and you know, if this isn't perfectly straight, it actually doesn't matter, truthfully, because we're going to be putting the other, you know, like the paper over it. So I don't know why it like bends this way. That's weird. But it's okay. All right, so that is nice and glued down. Oh, actually, hold on. I use a little bit more right here. Just a tad, though. Just a tad. Okay. And then also, like I always say, we do sew it, so don't worry. Now, if you weren't sewing it, then you would want to make sure you did have enough glue. But we're sewing it, so. All right, then we're going to cut it off, but you just got to be very careful that you don't cut the material for the cover. I don't know if I've actually ever done that, but I feel like it's something that I definitely would do because, I don't know, sometimes I do stuff like that by accident. All right, so the cover, what was it, 5.5? So let's do it by, if we do it by 5, let me see. I just got to look at this real quick. And then 5. Yeah. So we're actually going to cut it down to 5. So we're going to get 5 this way and 5 this way. Okay, so I'm at 5. What do I want to do? You know what? Let's do 5 1/4. And we can always cut it again if I want to take that extra quarter off. But let's just see what it does look like. Okay, and now 5 1/4 this way. So that's just going to be I don't need that. So we have this and this. So before I ink it, I just want to see what it's going to look like. So that is going to be here. And this is going to be here. You know what? I think you know what? Let's take that quarter off. I wanted a bigger opening. Not opening, but a bigger, whatchamacallit? Space. That's the word. But again, let's measure it. And if we want, we can do a little bit more. Okay, so we have this, and we have, yeah, that's better. See, I like to have a bigger space here. All right, so now we are going to ink the inside. Now I just realized something. I'm looking over at my sewing machine and I have black thread in there. And I don't know, well, no, I definitely don't want to have black thread. And I think all my brown thread is gone. So I might have to change it to a cream thread, which I'm okay with cream. So, because this, we're going to glue it down, but it's going to have to dry just for a little bit. And while it's drying, I'll switch out the thing. Okay, so this is the part that takes a little bit of concentration. All right. And you actually don't have to go all the way to the edge because we are sewing. So, you know, the stitch will keep the edges good. But I definitely want to put enough glue on the middle section. And I'm going to put some glue here. I'm going to put some glue there. Okay. Let's see. It's hard to see if I actually have glue on there. I mean, I know I do, but... And since this is a thicker, you know, cardstock, it's Tim Holtz, it's won't bleed through. So I don't have to worry about squishing it around. But I do want to make sure that I am in the middle. Okay, that should be good. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing for this side. Oh, yeah, I inked the edge. For a second, I didn't remember inking the edge. Oh, goodness. Okay, so... I hope this is not too boring, but I feel like sometimes even I do make journals regularly. I like to watch other people make journals because I like to watch their techniques or how they do things, because there are times when I say, oh my gosh, I like the way that, you know, so-and-so is doing whatever it might be. And then I'll switch over and I'll do that. And, you know, sometimes you get good techniques. So just because you make journals doesn't mean that you can't always learn something new, because I do. I learn new stuff all the time and I love it. Absolutely love the fact that I'm like learning, because I am by no means at all a journal making expert. No way, no how. Every day I watch a new video. Every day I see something new and I love it, love it, love it. So if you don't like these long drawn out videos, you can always, you know, forward ahead a little bit or jump to the last one. But I like to put them out just because there could be somebody out there that does want to see the whole process. So I don't mind doing it for them. And if you wanted to see the beginning and the end, that is perfectly fine too. All right, so I'm just going to set this aside for 1 second. And we need to change out the threads real quick. And oh my gosh, I have a mess over here. All right, so let's turn this on. Okay, so we don't want the black. We don't want this. Sorry for my reaching. Let's see. What do I have in here? Oh, I do have a cream color. Take out that. Put that in, and there we go. I still haven't organized my new vintage sewing box. I know I showed it in a haul. I don't know how many videos ago. But yeah, no, I still have it. It's actually right over there. But because it came with so much stuff on the inside, I don't know what to do with it all. So it kind of got overwhelming and I put it aside for now. But eventually I want to organize everything kind of nice and neatly and make sure everything has its own place. Because right now I'm very unorganized with my threads. Because I have them in several different places. And that's, you know, that's a little hard to work with. Because you think that you have something and then you don't, or you knew you had it but you don't know where it is, and it's just better if it's kind of all centralized. All right, so now let me reach that. I'm just trying to decide, do I want to do a straight stitch or do I want to do a zigzag? Because I feel like it's not really going to show, only because it's kind of really light cream color. So I think, because I also have to do 2 stitches down here, and I'm wondering if I should do those as straight stitches and then zigzag around. Yeah, I'm going to do these as straight. All right, so I am sewing. I do apologize that you won't be able to see exactly what I'm doing, but I'm just doing 2 straight stitches down, and I'll show you right when I finish. Okay, so I have 1 down. Okay, so let me just see how that actually looks first. Oh yeah, it's very light. You can barely see it. Oh gosh, I'm so close. But you see it? Very, very light. So now I'm wondering, should I do that around the whole thing or should I do a zigzag? Decisions. Well, let's, if I do a small, I almost, oh gosh, I don't know why this is always so hard. Let's try, do a single stitch all the way around, or do we do a zigzag? No, I'm going to stay with single. That way all the stitching matches. Yeah. Because I don't know. I mean, I don't think it would be a huge deal if it was 2 different stitches, but I don't know. I just would rather that stay the same. Okay. And I always stitch from the inside so I can see where like all the paper is, and I know that I'm not, you know, because you want to make sure the paper gets sewn to the cover. If you do it the other way, you can't always tell where the paper is. So give me a second. last side, and then we will take a look at what we got. Okay, let me cut this and then I'll push the sewing machine aside and let's see what we have. So I'm just looking around first just to make sure everything is sewn on, and it is. I'm actually really proud of myself. Normally my stitching is a little wonky, and I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, wow, okay. And then yeah, I do like the single stitch on the outside, because if it was a zigzag and you can see the stitch here, I don't know, I'd be a little OCD about it and then be sad. So that is the cover. That is how I make, I would say, 99.9% of my covers, just like I just did. And it's not too difficult. Just be patient, and always measure bigger, and you can always cut it down. But I mean, it's pretty simple. And the more you do, the more, you know, it becomes easier. So I think this is going to be good for this video. In the next video, we're going to start to like measure and cut down the pages for the inside, which will be, well, I say it's going to be easy, I think, because I'm using the same paper, but you never know because it's on a roll. So to actually cut it down might pose a little bit of a challenge. So we shall see. And I'm also thinking of maybe like rough edges, like using a ruler to rip rather than the paper trimmer, but we'll discuss that in the next video. And also I want to see how easy it is to rip. So I don't, you know, I can't guarantee what we'll do, but we're either going to rip or we'll cut, one or the other. So yes. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.